Hello, my name is Nick Huntington-Klein, and I'm here today to talk about the Library of Statistical Techniques, or LOST. LOST is a publicly editable website designed to make it easier to figure out how to perform particular statistical techniques, such as doing some sort of model estimation or data manipulation or data visualization in your software or programming language of choice. It is a publicly editable website, like I said, sort of like Wikipedia, and that means that it is a great place to learn about how to perform statistical techniques, but it's also a great place for you to be able to contribute the knowledge that you have. And this video is going to focus on how to contribute to LOST. Of course, you can also just check it out and see what you can find. You can visit the LOST website at lost-stats.github.io, or you can also visit the LOST GitHub repository. And then you can figure out what's going on behind the scenes there. So let's say that you've looked around the LOST website and you think it might be kind of interesting and you are interested in contributing. Let's talk about how you can do that. So the first thing that you're going to want to do is figure out what it is that you would like to contribute. I would recommend looking around the pages that already exist. Maybe you find something, an error that you can correct, or a method that's being used that maybe you can improve upon, or there's a language that is not present on one of the pages that you can fill in. Maybe someone before you has already written how to do something in Stata, and you want to write about how to do it in Python. Or you can find a page that needs to exist and doesn't already. On the LOST website, there is a page called Desired Non-Existent Pages, which might give you a couple of ideas of pages that you could create all your own. Once you know what it is that you want to write, well, then it's going to be time to write it. The first thing you're going to want to do is to get a GitHub account. You don't need to know how to use Git or GitHub to contribute to LOST, but you do need to have a GitHub account. The next thing you're going to want to do is to check out the contributing page. The contributing page tells you in a lot more detail than this video is going to, all of the things that go into a LOST page. And the specific technical details about how to edit a LOST page, including how to use Markdown. If you've never used Markdown before, don't worry, it's very simple. If you ever sent a text message and used some asterisks to indicate bold because you wanted to really emphasize something, that's about the level that Markdown is on in terms of difficulty, so don't worry about it. Once you've read the contributing page, then you're going to be able to contribute. So all you have to do is to go to the page that you're interested in editing and find the Edit This Page on GitHub link up at the top right. That's one way. Or if you're creating a new page, go to the GitHub repository and find the new page template that you can copy and start working on that. So now you've got the text that you are working on. Either you're editing something that already exists or you're creating a new page writing through a template. There are 4 pieces to this page that you're going to want to think about, especially if you're writing a new page of your own. The first is the introduction. This is a very brief description of what that technique happens to be about. You don't have to go super far into detail. In fact, if you want, you can just do a couple of sentences saying what the technique is and then link out to something like Wikipedia or some other resource that has more technical detail about the technique. The other 3 sections are going to tell people basically what to do. One of those sections is implementations. This is one of the key ones. This is going to describe how to carry that technique out using an example that you will provide in the language of your choice, or multiple languages, perhaps. Maybe there's multiple ways to do something in a language. In that case, either pick the best one or present a couple of different options for the reader. The other 2 important parts are the Keep in Mind section and the Also Consider section. The Keep in Mind section is all about best practices and making sure that people know what they're doing when they carry out your technique. If you ever seen somebody try to do a statistics technique and do it all wrong, well, here's your chance to try to catch that before it happens. So any assumptions that people should be aware of when they're using this technique, or perhaps knowing that they have to do something to their data before they do it. For example, let's say you're writing a page about lasso regression. Now, when you're doing a lasso regression, you should really standardize your data before you do it. That should probably go in the Keep in Mind section. The other section is the Also Consider section. This is going to be other techniques that you might want to carry out in addition to the one that you are currently doing, or perhaps instead of the one that you're currently doing. So for example, if you're running a regression, you might want to consider different kinds of adjustments you could make to the standard errors of your regression. And so you might link in the Also Consider section to other LOST pages that would describe certain ways of adjusting your standard errors. So that's pretty much it. So you've got your page. You've edited in what you want to do on the page, or you've created a brand new page from the template that exists. Now, how do you actually get your work on LOST? Well, there are 2 ways to do it. If you do happen to know how to use Git and GitHub, you can fork the repository, make your changes there, and then do a pull request to have your changes brought back into the main repository. If you don't know how to use GitHub, that's totally fine. You can go to the Issues page which you can find in the GitHub repository, and you can post a new issue asking to be added as a contributor. Once you are made into a contributor, you can simply directly edit the text files that are in the GitHub repository and make your changes that way. We will also make you a contributor after you have successfully submitted a pull request. So either way, you should end up as a contributor, which is just fine. And there's lots of things you can do here. We're pretty flexible on the different kinds of ways that you can contribute. You can add in your own images. You can upload images to the images subfolders of whatever category you're looking at. You can also upload data. You could upload a shared data file that can be used in all of the examples in all the different languages on a page, and then each of those individual examples can load that data file directly. All of these details are on the contributing page as to how to do these specific things, but you might as well just get started. Find a page that you think could have a little edit on it. Click the Edit This Page on GitHub button and add in the information that you have. You can get started. We're very interested to see what you have to contribute, and believe me, if you have done anything in statistical packages and you have some idea of what you're doing, you have the knowledge necessary to contribute to Lost. And I hope that you do, because I think it's going to be a very valuable resource if we can just get enough information on there. So thank you very much. I hope that you do find it some time to contribute. Have a good one.